happy peoples, let me try again. I think I've done this 3 or 4 times now already, just trying to, what do you say on these things, right? So, okay, so this is where we're at. My dad has a pretty advanced, aggressive prostate cancer, is what he was diagnosed with, and yeah, so we've known about this for some time. We've just been gathering information, and we took some time off of vlogging before Vlogmas, just so we can kind of process. You know, my sister Angela came here for Thanksgiving, and we, you know, had the tears and all the different emotional roller coaster phases. And I didn't know if it was okay to, I mean, I hate keeping stuff from you guys, but sometimes things like this, we kind of just needed some time to process and figure out. And I wanted to have some kind of happy news or something joyful, and I think that's where we're at. Dad is doing good on all these things, and I talked to him. I said, Dad, is it okay to share something like this? And for some of you guys that don't know, my dad has actually done a lot of motivational speaking, especially when it relates to alcoholism. My dad beat alcoholism many years ago. I wanted to share, sorry, it's taking me a bit here. Dad wanted to share some information, some resources that he got, that maybe if some of you guys are struggling with something similar, like we said we did. I thought we were good until I started talking about it. I think just the business of Vlogmas and running around and, you know, random acts of kindness and all that has kind of been a good distraction for us and for our family and everyone around. And Dad's doing great. Is the crazy part. It's just everyone around him, right? We're all still trying to work through it through our own levels of emotions at different times. Dad's got some, I think, some good resources and some hope and some stuff that he wants to share, because that's the kind of guy Dad is. He can make a difference in someone's life. That's what he will do. All right, let me go ahead and send you here to about 6-7 weeks ago when I had to go drive Dad in to get his biopsy done. For biopsy, are you concerned? Are you good?
Well,
where are you at?
You're always concerned because you don't know. It's like the unknown. I don't know what exactly is going on or how advanced it is or isn't. So I just don't, you always kind of have a little concern in the back of your mind, but you don't overreact to it because you don't know what's going on. So big concern is if it is prostate cancer, how advanced is it? And this pain in my leg, I really want to get rid of the pain in the leg because I got things I have to do, and I can walk in a straight line, not quickly, but I need to have more mobility than that. So I'm going to be talking to him about that.
Okay.
So after this is it's about 10 days I get back together with him to go through the results and everything, and then we have proceed with a plan of action.
All right, so biopsy, 10 or 12 days-ish to figure out whatever results are. If it's nothing to do with prostate cancer, then what the heck?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it probably is. Even the second night we were at the ER, the guy just offhandedly says, well, I think I see some prostate cancer with some metastasizing to the leg, and that was... Oh. So, okay. And then I just went to the urologist to help him get rid of these stupid kidney stones. And he goes, no, we ain't going to do that now. We're going to do this other thing. So then the kidney stones, at some point we got to deal with those, especially the big 12 millimeter one that it's not going anywhere.
You got like buckshot in your kidneys.
I know.
Okay, well, I got this in case you need it coming back. So
cool.
Whatever time there's a slow vehicle in front of you,
it's a Subaru.
It's always a Subaru. It's always a Subaru.
Sometimes a RAV4.
Got it. You sure? You got it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
Good. See you in a bit.
All right. You got your phone? Just, I guess, call me. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go through that every day, but it was reasonable.
All right. Also, today is Random Act of Kindness. I think what we're going to do is go where this all started. When my dad started having pain. My mom just said, just go to the ER and get it taken care of, because Dad's like a guy, he's like me. He's like, okay, well, whatever. Just, go take a nap or something. Everything will be fine. but it hurt him so much in his leg and kind of his thigh area because the cancer has gotten out of his prostate and it is wrapped around like his lower abdomen, and it's inhibiting him from walking very well. He can still walk good. It's just a lot of pain, right? All started at the ER. And my wife's in town right now doing some stuff with gymnastics with Evelyn, and we thought it'd be appropriate to go just bring a gift basket over there. So my wife's working on a gift basket for the ER department and all the nurses there. So again, thank you guys. If you're in any kind of medical industry at any level, thank you so much for what you do. You are heroes, and you're amazing in my book as far as I'm concerned. Sometimes it can be thankless, but you guys are saving lives, and you're just dealing with intense amount of stress, and you just handle it. And we so appreciate you. Go and sending my wife doing that, and then I think I'm going to go head over to Mom and Dad's and kind of have him share some information with you guys. And again, thank you guys so much for being here, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys being here. Let me go and send you my wife.
Not be a Summers in Alaska Vlogmas if you did not catch me in my trunk compiling items. Compiling things and goodies to give out. I just got Evelyn. Say hi, Ev.
Hi.
There she is. I just picked her up from gym, and we're going to assemble. We're going to assemble our little basket for our emergency response folks. Got some really cute stuff, some little cozy socks, makeup removers, some flossers, some chapstick, some fun drinks, of course, all like the goodies and whatnot. Hand sani, a bunch of those, some coffees. Oh, I still want to go get some gift certificates from the coffee stand down the street. Hopefully, if I can make it in time. I want to put some tissue paper underneath here. So I just got a little basket. Oh, some face masks. Just got a little basket. I'm just going to fill her up. And then Evelyn and I will go and deliver some Sour Patches and some gum. I think people can see we're sitting in the gymnastics parking lot. Make it look festive. Alright guys, I think I got it. I know the lighting is so poor, but got all their goodies in there. Hopefully they will like it.
How you feeling, Dad?
I'm doing pretty good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of work to do, but I'm doing all right.
So I showed them when we went in for your biopsy, right? I just showed that footage. Got some kind of scary news stuff. What's the official scariness, I guess, that made Mom melt down?
Yeah, Mom had a meltdown. Well, we went into his office for a consultation, and he said, well, there's 5 different levels. You've got prostate cancer. There's 5 different levels. And I was hoping for a 3. Mom was hoping for a 1. And he goes, and you've got a level 5 aggressive prostate cancer. And of course, you know, when you hear that, I'm sure the doctor could see, the urologist could see all the blood drain out of my head. But, and of course, Mom started crying.
Yeah.
But, but I think people need to realize it's not 1925 anymore. As a matter of fact, the urologist said that they've made more progress in the last 5 years than they have in the previous 95. So as soon as he told me that, he had something he could do to get things started right off the bat. But he had to refer me to an oncologist because he handles prostate cancer. He's a urology oncologist, but mine had spread. That was the problem. It had spread into the pelvis, the leg. Oh, some lymph nodes in the belly, and a couple other places we're not sure of. But
and there's not a history of this in your side of the family either.
I told a nurse that when I was getting a ultrasound. I said, yeah, I got no family history of cancer. She goes, well, that doesn't really matter anymore. And so I guess you're right. So here's what happens. The first day or two after you get a diagnosis like that, the first thought is, why me? And then the second thought is, well, why not me? I mean, it's going to get somebody.
Well,
but
cancer is supposed to be something that someone else has in someone else's family, not yours, right?
Yeah, and you know, the C word's still scary for people, but you know, you got a lot of different diseases, and what you have to do, I think my daughter Heidi's big word is pivot. You have to pivot in life sometimes, and when you get a diagnosis like that, the good part was after a day or two, I was sitting there quietly and thinking to myself, and I'm going, well, you know, I'm 75 years old. I'm pretty happy about, I mean, I've made lots of mistakes in my life, just like everybody else has, but you know what? My legacy's pretty intact. I got a bunch of good kids and a bunch of good grandkids, and one of my favorite terms is none of us are getting out of this thing alive.
He does say that.
I told that
it's very uplifting.
I told that to an ornery old railroad conductor on the Alaska Railroad one time. It was a friend of mine. He had stage 4 emphysema, and people said that was a little insensitive. And I said, well, apparently you don't know Rick. He invented insensitive. So telling him that was he probably considered a love term. It was our getting out of this thing alive. You know, if you think about it, we all have an expiration date. So you start, if you're young, I would recommend sit down and think about what you've accomplished in life, what you'd like to accomplish, mistakes you've made, mistakes you're still making that you probably should quit. You know, at my age, it's a little different. I'm old enough now, I can just look back and go, I made a bunch of mistakes, too late now. If you're comfortable in your legacy, if your spiritual life is intact, that's a big part. I've watched people that don't have an intact spiritual life have a very difficult time around, I've seen it around death. They just don't know what to do because it reminds them that someday they're going to face that.
Went through your mind then when they first gave you all that news?
That didn't go through my mind. That was a little later. What first went through my mind was the options.
Gotcha.
Because it was all new. This is all new to me. And I'm still working through that. I was working with, we use, we have Medicare, and then we use Christian Healthcare Ministries for our gap insurance. Be nice to work with. And so I was, they had some real expensive medication. In fact, I'll tell you one thing, if you're over 50, make sure your doctor gets your PSA tests on a fairly regular basis. I don't think I'd had one in 10 years. That would have made life a lot easier. Part is, and we contacted, we have a good oncologist in town here, cancer doctor. Him and his wife both. They're the two. Oncologist is right on top of his game. This guy's real sharp. He has 10 years at Ohio State. And he also made an appointment at MD Anderson down in Houston. Okay. We're going to be down there visiting Heidi. So now we are. We made an appointment down there to visit with those guys. They probably won't differ too much from what we're going to do, but you never know. They could be doing a clinical trial that would be good for you.
So I get progression though. So you went in, you got the shock news, but then you found out that technology in the last 5 years is helping. What made you feel better? Because you were a little stressed. Mom was melting down, and then you got some more information. What was it that made you feel better from after the first finding out news?
Well, I got, like I said, I sat quietly and got real comfortable with myself. But then it's a matter of working the plan. I mean, you have to develop a plan and work the plan, the way that works. So I started looking into the different, I had to wait. Nothing happens quickly. It's all a week here and 2 weeks there. We're at the point where they want to do more. And now we've had a consultation with the oncologist. I'm waiting for the radiation oncologist to get back to me. We'll have to use radiation on my leg and pelvis. Not doing regular chemo anymore to speak of. They do some, but they're
it's all like oral type.
They've
medication, right?
They've got an oral. It's a chemo pill, but the pills are like $100 a piece, and you got to take a couple a day for the first month. So it's expensive stuff. So I'm looking at Christian healthcare. Do they consider it a treatment, or look at all your options?
Yeah.
And remember, you're in charge of your recovery from whatever it is. I don't care what the disease is. And you and your doctor are a partnership. He's not the boss. You're in a partnership. I don't let doctors be bosses. The main thing is get on a treatment plan and start moving forward. Don't wig out over all this stuff. We wigged out the first day just because we didn't. It kind of caught us by surprise.
Actually, let me go ask Mom about that. All right, so for you, you were there the first meeting, and same thing, right? So you're thinking level 1, level 3, something, and then they throw like a level 5.
Yeah.
And what goes through your mind, I guess?
Flashing, going, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose him. And we've been married for 48 years, and that just was more than I could handle. It took a while. I still process that. It's such a part of me that the thought of that was just overwhelming. But what flashed immediately through my mind of going to level 5, it's like someone kicked you in the stomach and sucked all the life out of you. That's how it hit me.
Yep.
And
Well, you thought it could be something that would take me out pretty quick.
Yeah,
But it's
from-
not.
You're like, Dad's
Aggressive.
got 2 months type of a thing.
yeah, well, I mean, being in the dental field, I know a little bit about, when they're talking about lymph nodes, that really terrified me, because when it gets to your lymph nodes, it can really spread. That was kind of a rough way to start out, and then
But something switched, right? So you went from this
Yeah.
mode, and then we're all like,
yeah.
Well, coming over here every day and like, okay, is Dad going to be okay? Bringing meals, trying to figure out all
Yeah.
these life and stuff. And
Lots
then
of desserts.
Dad got lots of desserts out of the
he
deal.
I've been
He
milking
loved
the
that.
desserts.
Then
So-
you started like, I think a week ago or so, or maybe it was a little before that, you
Yeah.
had a bit of a piece, like you felt better. What was it that changed for you that you felt better about the situation?
Well, started to have a plan and trying to move forward of what are we going to do about it.
Okay.
And I think the first 2 weeks you had to process it, and we know where ultimately, and like your dad goes, okay, I want to know where I'm going. I know where you're going too, but I want you here a little longer, you know what I mean? So it's scary time but then once there was a plan, and I started understanding, gathering knowledge of what you have your hands on, having options, knowing, okay, then I said I'd sell everything I have to try and get the best treatment for you.
We don't need to do that.
But I know, but I mean, that's how passionate I am about the love of my life. I mean, knowing that when we went to see his oncologist, Dr. Andrew Cox, and
That was a big breakthrough
that
for
was
you there.
huge. And then discussing with him that they were very open about us getting a second opinion down. That really made me feel good. He said, I'll be the quarterback, or they can be the quarterback and I could be a different position. He said, because I said, iron sharpens iron, right?
Yep.
And he goes, yes, absolutely. It's going to be a journey,
Yep.
and that we'll walk it together.
Yep.
But
But the positive things that you took out of this was technology has changed a lot in the first 5 years, or last 5 years, versus the previous 100, you said. You're networking with a couple different doctors.
yeah,
There's not surgery required here, right? This is
no,
beyond surgery. It's just going to be a like an oral chemo type of a.
yep,
Yeah, to use that one, I'm not going to pay $200 a day for something. So if I can't get that one, they have a couple other ones that have some, like one of them will raise your sugar. So if I get that one, I'll have to do some more work on sugar medication.
How about we just get the $200 a day, Dad? It'll be okay. We'll figure it out.
yeah.
We'll figure it out.
It's what you have money for.
Yeah,
Old people are cheap.
I know. I know. Old people are cheap. Can't be cheap on that. I feel you're better now. See, every time we
Yeah.
talk about it, I get all emotional. It's kind of weird. Dad's fine. Dad does great. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
I know. He is like totally, but
I know. All the rest of us are just like,
yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing a lot better. I'm just talking about that first day brought back that emotion.
yeah,
And it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. Doug said if I could encourage people to, if you are a male or have a male in your family, make sure they get that yearly PSA checked, I keep all the records, and so once this happened, I went back through and went, wow, it's been 10 years since that test. Somehow it got dropped off of his.
Oh, Dad went 10 years without the test.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't let that happen. All it is a blood test, but
Oh, okay, it's a blood test.
It's
Okay.
a blood test, so it's not that big a deal. If they're testing your, diabetes or all these, they can tell everything from your blood.
And just do
So
that.
just simple thing, just make sure that is on there.
But overall, though, you feel more of a peace about the situation.
I do. It's one day at a time.
One day at a time.
Trust in the Lord has been probably the biggest thing, is releasing it, putting it back on the altar to Him.
Yep. Closing thoughts with Dad here.
Yeah, Bert, you remember a book called Patton's Principles?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, it was by Williamson. I think it was Patton's Judge Advocate General when they were training in California. I think it was 41 or 42.
Uh-huh.
And among all, as a matter of fact, if you're a Patton fan, go get that book somewhere and read it. It is a worthy read.
Yep.
But I remember one of the points he made. He had a whole series of principles. One of them was life is all about how you bounce on the bottom. I remember that one.
Yeah.
And when you hit a low spot, his point was, what are you going to do about it? I've had a couple. I had alcohol treatment. That was a bouncing on the bottom moment too. So
Yep.
I've had practice for this. Life is all about character. Make sure you're approaching things. I've read a lot of books. I've read the Bible. I've read a lot of stuff. Good to have a good depth to your character. So if you're young, start reading a lot of books. I've read How to Influence and Influence People, 5 or 6 times?
Yeah, probably.
Read Napoleon Hill, especially his Law of Success. Accurate thought. It's good to have your brain engaged when you run into stuff. It makes it easier to handle. Bottom line is Patton was a good guy.
Patton was a good guy. Bounce on the bottom.
Yeah, when you bounce on the bottom, bounce back up.
Like it.
Get up and go do something.
Okay.
So that's what we did. I mean, we got hit, and then we kind of, our eyeballs were rattling around in our head for about a day, and then we just got on the trail. It's just part of life.
What's the prognosis here? What's the takeaway, I guess? I mean,
It'll never completely go away.
Okay.
But the urologist was funny. He says, you'll probably live long enough for something else to get you first.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means. I could be
I
around.
hope he's right, I think.
I could be around for 5 years, 10 years, who knows, 15 years. Manage it.
Basically,
Yeah, never
okay, so we
completely
cannot
go away.
take years out. We just have to manage it is where we're at then.
Yeah, you get it in the background, have a high quality of life, and go about your business.
All right. Love you, Dad.
All right, love you too. Appreciate it.
All right, sorry for a bit of a sad vlog today, but I just want to let you know, I guess, what's going on behind the scenes. Like I said, when we're focusing on random acts of kindness, that kind of helps us. I don't know. I think that helps us. I really do. Just focusing on other things, time and all this stuff. So, all right, with that, let me go and send you to my wife. I think she's at the emergency room department to go do a random acts of kindness, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow in the next video.
Better not drop it. Hello. I just want to drop this off for you guys. Yeah, where can I put it? Emergency room. Just the whole group of them over there. You? All right. Just Merry Christmas. Yeah. You're very welcome. I just tell them it's the happy people stack. Yeah. That dropped it off. Yes. Thank you. It was for you. I was like, I don't know. I was one arm in it. Merry Christmas. Very welcome. Yeah, we thank you guys for everything you do. We appreciate it. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Alrighty, successful delivery to the emergency room. We're so appreciative of those folks there. And I'm sure, as Bert has mentioned, it is tied in to my father-in-law's story. So we are really, really grateful for folks and all folks in medical care. You know, I've gone through my medical history as far as cancer goes, and having people that are by your side and that want the best for you, and you can just feel their compassion, because it takes a special type of worker to work in the medical field, and to have that compassion and just love for their fellow man is just super, super special. So anyway, different type of vlog for us today. I know I haven't even seen my babe and what he's talked about or whatnot, but I'm sure it was hard and emotional. Just keep us in your prayers, you know? We're gonna keep moving forward. We've got plans and things like that, so I'm grateful for that. And yeah, keeping this random act of kindness and the beautifulness of what is Christmas time in front of our eyes. All the family's gonna be together here shortly, and we're just gonna enjoy it. That's what we're gonna do. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.